Good morning, and welcome to Atheist Church. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you're making the most of it. I hope you're making the most of every day, because your days are, of course, numbered. We only have until 2012, and then the world ends. So you better get out and have your fun now. Don't waste time with retirement plans or school or worrying about the future, because there is no future beyond 2012. Sheesh. This is exhausting. It's getting crazier and crazier with people buying into this stuff. And I'll make a confession here and tell you a little true story. As the year 2000 was coming, I was having a really hard time with it. I had already by that point long been an atheist and a skeptic. But it was so drilled into my head when I was a kid that the world would end in the year 2000. We talked about it constantly as kids. That was the big date, and 2000 seemed an impossibly long time away. So when 2000 finally came, we've got terrorist attacks hitting in the States, we've got global conflict, we have the Y2K scare, and I was saying, even if it is an arbitrary number, even if there is no magic to it, couldn't it be a self-fulfilling prophecy? I mean, wouldn't it be a good date for someone to do something catastrophic? And so I was scared. And on that New Year's, probably, potentially the coolest New Year's Eve that I ever will have the chance to live through. Although now 2012 is shaping up to be a fun one too. So there's a silver lining. But as that New Year's came, I got up early, and I watched as it turned into the year 2000 in different parts of the world. And I sighed a little bit of relief as more and more of the world slipped into 2000 without a problem. And when midnight finally passed in California, I cheered, made noise with everyone else, and then slipped away to the bathroom and cried. It was that heavy. They had put it in me that strongly that it was going to end in 2000, that I couldn't shake it on an emotional level. It had meant that much to me. So, you younger kids that are looking at 2012 and getting freaked out, alright, I'll give you this one. But just one. And then say, well, I've already lived through the end of the world once, and don't worry about the next end of the world. Because believe me, there will be one coming. The world is always ending. It has always been ending. Doomsday prophets have been here from the dawn of humanity, the dawn of civilization. Jesus Christ himself was quite the doomsday prophet. And if you look in the New Testament, you'll see him cautioning people not to waste time on petty things like, raising their family, because there was more important stuff coming, like the end of the world, which may be 2012 years late. We'll see. So yeah, this has come, and it will come again, and it will be the end of the world over and over again. So let's talk about the Mayans. The Mayans did not say it will be the end of the world. All they did was create a long calendar. We can say, hey, remember back in 1982? And they would say, hey, remember 3 or 4 calendar cycles ago? Because they had a 365-day calendar. They figured out how long a year was. And they didn't number them, so they created a longer calendar so that they would have number points during which they could pinpoint certain points in history, and they put a beginning and an end to it because that's what you did with the calendar. They all had beginnings and ends, and they're shorter calendars. Not the year wasn't the longest one, other than this one that's ending on 2012. They had other long cycles, and when those cycles ended, I've heard one historical belief that when it ended, they would douse all the lights, and the priests would sit and wait to see if the world ended. And then when it didn't, they would light the bonfire, and they would have the biggest freaking party ever. If you were lucky, you might live long enough to see 2 of these parties. Unlikely. So that's fun. That's an excuse to party. That's what do they call that? Oh, a New Year's celebration. It's just like a millennial celebration. So they didn't do anything different than we're doing. They didn't say that there would be a sun flare, that Planet X would hit us, that there would be a meteor. They didn't predict any of these things, and astronomers don't see any sign that we should be afraid of any of these things either. There is no historical or astronomical basis to these fears. End of the world, dangerous thing. Because why would you bother to take care of the Earth, plan for the future, be a responsible citizen of the earth if it's expiring so shortly. So let's knock off this nonsense. Let's move on. Let's quit being Chicken Little, and try and live for some sustainability here. And there's movies being made, 2012. There's all these other things. We'll go do some actual research and question your sources on it, because you can find plenty of stuff to confirm it's going to be the end of the world. But look at where it's coming from, and then look who's actually afraid, and more importantly, who isn't. So, okay, and for most of you, you started laughing at the silly idea of the world ending ending in 2012, right from the beginning of this. But if there's anyone out there that was sweating it, I hope you can let it go. That's Atheist Church for this week. I am exhausted. I have had an incredible weekend. On Friday and Saturday, we were recording my stand-up comedy CD, and a couple of great sets, and I'm really, really excited about what we got recorded. Looking forward to releasing it. I will try, no promises, but I will try to get some clips up in the next couple of weeks, certainly in the next month. I want to thank all of you who, one, posted video responses. I love the comments, but also the video replies are great, and I'm really glad that 2 of you did that last week, so thank you guys so much, appreciate it. Also my subscribers. I'm really enjoying watching the subscriber list grow every day. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will, and I hope you'll tell a friend about this and ask them to subscribe. I would love to see that growing and keep that rolling. So thank you guys. Have a great week, and we will see you next week, and I'll be less tired, maybe even have some clips ready for you. Bye-bye.